Hey guys, hope you're having an awesome day. Hope you're all doing well and hope you're staying sane and healthy. Like I said, it's really important right now to make sure we're taking care of our bodies. I like this acronym that I like to use called DREAM: Diet, Rest, Exercise, Alternative Care, and Mental Attitude. I work on those all the time. Super into supplements. I mean, I think right now supplements are super important. Vitamin D, vitamin C, huge. All that kind of stuff is awesome. I've been meditating a lot. I'm trying to try not to watch the news because it's too depressing. I'm sure you can relate. Last night I took a complete break from social media. It was awesome, and I have not looked at it much at all today. So I really encourage you to not be on social media, not reading about this stuff because it'll drive you crazy. I wanted to kind of share a little bit about my story. I don't know if you guys know or let me share with you. The reason I got into chiropractic because I had a lot of health challenges and health problems. Now, when I was growing up, I thought I was pretty healthy, but I had really bad asthma when I was a kid. I was probably in the hospital 40 times from 8th grade to 12th grade. I just about died when I was 14. My parents found me on the floor unconscious. Luckily, they came home and found me. Otherwise, I would not be here right now. But that was really special. Not special, but the fact that I actually lived through that, I always thought that I was here for a purpose. So just, it was a really life forming experience for me. I Because I had asthma so much, they would give me antibiotics, they give me cortisone, and the antibiotics basically destroyed the internal environment of my stomach, and I did not have a bowel movement, like a real bowel movement. I had diarrhea all the time from about 15 to probably 35. Now I still have problems with that somewhat, but I take lots of supplements and I do other things to work on my gut and my internal health, and it makes a big difference. But if I get stressed and I have things going on and I eat crappy food, back right where I was. So I have to really work on that. I also used to get panic attacks all the time, and panic attacks, I don't know if you ever had one, they're debilitating. I mean, I would get like freak out where I feel like I was going to have a heart attack and die. It was like the most uncomfortable feeling. They'd come on out of nowhere. And one of the things that I started to learn to do is I read somewhere that if you say, "I command you, Satan, in the name of Jesus Christ, to leave me," I mean, I swear it started working every time. I started having a panic attack and I started saying that. Super powerful. I used to get torticollis. That is actually the reason I went to a chiropractor. Torticollis when your neck locks up and you can't move things. I used to sleep on my stomach all the time, and I'd do weightlifting exercises, and my neck would pop out and it would lock up for about a week, 10 days, and be super painful. And then I started getting numbness down to my arm and my hand. I was like totally freaked out and thought that I would have be paralyzed for the rest of my life. And luckily, I found a chiropractor, and he evaluated me. My neck was completely jacked up, and when I was in my 20s, I had arthritis in my spine and a ton of things going on. And he explained to me that how the neck can affect the spinal cord there. If the spinal cord is not working properly or not lined up, that it can make a huge difference. So I had that in 2005. I had a concussion. I had 17 staples in my head. Really severe head trauma, and it's like totally screwed up my neck. And the anxiety, the asthma, the panic attacks, all that stuff came back, and I had to work really hard to get my spine and my posture and my neck and health back from there. But I did. And what else? I got divorced. That was a super huge challenge. I don't know if any of you guys have been through that, but probably death and divorce are one of the two hardest things people can go through. And then after that, I had where my mom died, and that was one of the most painful experiences of my life. My mom was the most important person in my life. I mean, I used to talk to her, call her all the time. She would spoil me, take care of me, and yeah, um, so that was really hard. And in the middle of that, I actually got a condition called Bell's palsy, and basically half my face was paralyzed. I woke up one day and I couldn't move it. You can probably tell in my mouth, I'm not going to smile here. I still can't lift this part of my face up, and the eye doesn't completely open on the left side. But it's like way better than it was. I used to have where when it first happened, I'd go in an elevator. My kid was in there with me and being making noise, and I got like seriously for the first month, it would hurt so bad when I heard noise. I go to work and I try to adjust patients, and I couldn't. It hurt every time. But I'm a trooper. I stuck it out. I did it, and I took care of myself. I learned how to heal that, and I didn't use any drugs. any surgery, anything like that. So I'm very proud of that. I've gotten my body like really relatively healthy. And I used to have a ton of anxiety and, like I said, the panic attacks. And so I was taking a bunch of medications, but I didn't like taking the medications. I didn't like how they made me feel. I felt like a zombie. It would make me sweat a lot, and just so I ended up getting just learning how to take care of my body. I started meditating a lot, and now meditation is something that's really hugely important for my life. It makes such a huge difference. I've been studying Joe Dispenza a lot. The guy's amazing, and he talks about how you can rewire your brain, and you can rewire your brain and reprogram your brain through meditation. Adjustments will actually help that too, because every time I adjust it, it's stimulating the nervous system. But I've actually gotten where, I mean, I get stressed. I mean, who doesn't, right? Especially going on right now. When this first started going down, I was like totally stressed. And like, I would just go out and I meditate and I do breathing work. I do like hypertrophic breathing when I'm meditating. It's awesome. And I also listen to a number of Joe Dispenza's meditations, Botech meditations, which is balance of the energy centers. And then he's got Manifest Your Potential, which is like awesome. So there's lots of different ways to meditate. Sometimes I like to be silent. Sometimes I like to listen to a guided meditation. But it's amazing because it can really change your hormones and your physiology. So it's massive. And I'm really super into the law of attraction. And I really believe that everything that happens to us is because of what's going on here. I study a lot, and one of my favorite people that I like to study is Nikola Tesla and Masaru Emoto. And I don't know if you heard of Nikola Tesla. He's probably the smartest person that ever lived, maybe next to Albert Einstein. But he created electricity. He created, like, seriously everything. The guy's so smart. But he actually did some, they did some experiments, and they called it the double slit experiment, where basically they would shine an X-ray beam on an X-ray, and when the examiners were watching it, it basically did whatever they thought it would do, but then they left and went for lunch, then it started doing everything that it could possibly do, so it had to account for all possibilities. And it was really amazing because it was the first time I actually saw or that you could actually, your thoughts can create your reality. So it's really cool. So I would encourage you to listen to the Tesla double slit experiment. You can find that on YouTube. You can read about it online. Masaru Emoto actually looked at water and looked at it under an electron microscope. And you could basically, the water would change. You say prayer in front of it. You would listen to music in front of it, and you tape a word to it. Even you could tape a word like I hate you, I love you. Hate you would make it more disorganized. I love you would make it more organized. The book that he wrote was called Miracles of Water. It's amazing stuff, but it just shows you like our bodies are like 70 to 80% water. So if you're walking around and you've got a low vibration or you're negative, which is going to make you more of a low vibration, then it's going to start to affect your cells, going to start to affect you at a cellular level. So it's really important just how it affects your body. Your body's going to start to age faster and break down if you don't control this. But you're starting to manifest things, and your brain, your body's actually creating this. And you see a result of what's happening here. So the law of attraction is just so powerful, and what you focus on, what you think about is what you get. Your thoughts create your emotions create your behavior, and behavior creates your life. So it's super powerful. I've had a ton of challenges that I've overcome, and I've worked my butt off to overcome those, and I've really worked hard to get over those. And so you guys, anybody can accomplish anything. We're super powerful, and God loves you. You're special. You can do anything. You just got to believe in yourself. And that's one of the things that I have not had is I used to get where I didn't believe in myself. Now I had got where life kicked my butt and poor me, and I became a victim. But you know what? Life can be hard. There's stuff that happens. There's, you're going to have loss. You're going to have misery. You're going to have pain. But we have a God that loves us, and he makes things right when things are wrong. He works all things for our good. He loves us unconditionally. He wants to bless us. He wants to bless us to our heart's desire. But you got to connect with him. And so I'm just here trying to inspire you and trying to let you know that you can be anything. You can do anything. You can be anybody. You just got to put the work in. I read one time this story about this drill sergeant in the Marines, and the guys were basically underwater. And it's talking about if you really want something bad enough, and if you want it as bad as you want to be able to breathe, like if you can't breathe and you want it that bad, that's what it takes to get something you really want. And that's kind of where I am for personal growth now. I want it so bad. I work my butt off. I work so hard for this. So, and I love the trajectory of where I'm at and what's going on. So, you guys can do the same thing too. So, just be focused, put the work in every day, work on doing something. It's really important to make sure you've got time for yourself. Now, turn the TV off, get rid of the TV. It does nothing for you. It's called television programming. Work on yourself, self-improvement. I love it. It's the best thing you can possibly do. Have an amazing day. Message me if you have any questions.